So I was just kind of watching again there, and I started thinking a little bit about, like, you know what, I think that there's a lot of people, and I've heard it in your conversations on people who haven't bought yet, I think there's a lot of people in the market who are like, yeah, cool, like, call me for the new arena, call me for the new arena. Like, who's had that conversation, right? Like, bullshit. I call bullshit on that, right? Like, I might call you for the new arena, but I also might not. You know why? Because this season, and you saw it in there, it's going to be fucking awesome, right? Like, I was a 49ers season ticket holder. Me and Steven went through the last season at Candlestick Park. It was ridiculously cool, man. Just the memories, the emotions, the, like, energy that you get knowing that that might be the last time you ever go to a game in that stadium, the last time you're ever going to see, like, a memory where you'd seen a bunch of memories before in that stadium. That's awesome stuff, and I think people aren't internalizing that. I want you guys to think about how you can bring that back to them in a real way to push them a little bit more. So when somebody says, like, call me for the new arena, I'm not really interested in sleep training, you'd be like, really?
Thanks for
like,
the motivation.
Why? Thanks for the motivation. You know what? We are going to sell out our first 5 games of the season this year. Like, yeah, I think you and everybody else think we're going to start a new sellout streak in Golden One Center, but what if we started now? Right? Thanks for the motivation. You know, I'm gonna get this thing sold out now so that I can't call you back. Right? I want you guys to think about that and push people a little bit more. Seriously, we could sell out our first 5 games this year. We're on pace. We've already sold over 40,000 more tickets this year than at this point last year. Right? So there are very few tickets remaining for every game, particularly for those first 5. Right? What happens if we sell the first 5? People can't get tickets, so then the one game they want to go to becomes game 6 or game 7 or game 8, and then those start selling out. Maybe we win a few games, then those start selling out. Like, I've been part of some of those things before, and a lot of it is dependent on how well you guys focus in this last week and start to push people and get more bodies in those first 5 games. Momentum is key. Momentum is key. Sellouts breed sellouts. If we can get the first 5 out of the way, you never know what's going to happen. And I tell you what, when you've sold out 5 in a row, it makes your job a lot easier when trying to call somebody and close that group, close that next flex plan, right? Because you have that result behind you. But I think it's on you guys to feel the motivation to get it done. It doesn't happen unless you bring that energy on every call, on every email, on every tout, on every one mob that you do, right? So you guys got to think about, are you fired up? Are you motivated? Do you have that chip on your shoulder when somebody says, well, call me when Golden One Center is ready to be sold? No, I actually don't want to. Because you're going to miss out. You tell me you won't buy 5 games this year? There's not 5 games you want to see this year? Are you sure? Right? You got to call them on that, because we used to sell this place out when the team wasn't good, right? 400 plus games before the team had ever had a winning season. 400 plus games in a row. So don't tell me, like, I don't want to go to sleep train, there's nothing to do out there, that's not fun. Right? That's bullshit. That's an easy answer. That's an easy excuse for them to say no right now. Well, I'm certainly interested in New Arena. Well, great, so is everybody in Sacramento, right? But let me tell you about this season. Let me tell you about what you're gonna miss by telling me no right now. And by the end of this conversation, you're gonna wanna tell me yes, and here's why, right? Don't let it be defensive, be offensive about it. You tell them why they need to buy now. Whether it's a full, whether it's a flex, whether it's a 7-game plan, whether it's a group, I don't care, but get into some games this year, man. You're gonna miss out. The stuff they showed us in there was killer, right? There's a theme every night. Right? Win or lose, like, you're gonna have a good time at these games because it's Flashback Friday and it's Montel Jordan, or, you know, you're gonna get a t-shirt, or you're gonna get a poster, like, whatever it is, there's something going on. The pregame stuff, the happy hours in the parking lot, like, these are events, you guys. And I will challenge everybody who says, call me for Golden One Center. Well, great, well, what are you gonna be doing on Thursday night in Sacramento then, this year? It's not cooler than what we're doing, right? So come hang out with the cool kids, right? Get into this building, right? Think about it. Right? And if they say no, you tell them what?
Thanks for the motivation.
Thanks for the fucking motivation. Because I'm going to sell out these first 5 games, and when you call me for game 6, there might not be a ticket left for that either. Right? You just fired me up a little bit more because you don't want to come. I'm actually kind of bummed for you because you're going to miss out on something that's really, really cool. A historic season where every game's a party. Right? So think about that and bring that kind of energy and focus into every interaction you have today through the next week. This is game time. This is the 4th quarter right here, right? Every year, this is a big closing week for us. You've got urgency right now that's very real. You know, sold out games coming forward. Open night coming forward. Big games, Golden State, Clippers, Lakers, coming right in front of you within the next week, 10 days. Think about how you're going to use that to help close some deals today. Do not let people off the hook, though. I don't want to hear any cool, like let's talk in a week conversations, because everything could change in a week. That's the point. We might be sold out for the next 5 games. Today is the day you got to close, right? You guys are working towards monthly goals for October. Like, this should be a pretty big week for you, right? You're never going to get opening night back. You're never going to get the last opening night in Sleep Train Arena back. This is it. This is your last shot at it. You got 1 week left. How will you use that to help leverage some of these closes? Make sense? Right? So think about it, and I want you guys to feel that thanks for the motivation kind of attitude, because I guarantee our team feels it. Right? Talk to them about it. People don't necessarily think they can win. They're like, oh, we'll show you. Right? People don't think we're going to sell out every game this year. Maybe we should show them. Right? Maybe this is our chance. Okay. So that was it. I loved what they presented in there, and I want you guys to have an awesome week. I think you just gotta refocus how you're presenting yourself and how you're presenting these options to customers. Offensive versus defensive. Right? You're telling them why it's going to be great versus responding to them saying, I don't think it's going to be great. Make sense? All right, you guys have a great week. Thank you very much.